or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
Social media is like a big notice board in the marketplace. What you put on it, everybody will see.
One major definition of integrity is that you should do the right thing even if nobody is looking at you.
At what point do we as a people stand still and say, no, we no longer want money to become that thing that determines who we choose as leaders?
We are 50% of the population, and I really feel that it would make a lot of difference, a big boost to our development if there were more women participation.
I am Elizabeth Abai. I am here to talk about facts. There is so much misinformation and distortion out there, especially on the social media. All it takes is just a click and the fake news goes viral. However, here in NTA, we deal with facts.
My job is to go out there.
Trade is important for the 21st century, is important for prosperity, is important for resilience, is important for sustainable growth.
Nigeria's Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala makes history, becomes first woman and African Director General of World Trade Organization.
President Buhari is emphatic, he is committed, he is determined, he is relentless in his vigorous pursuit to bring an end to insecurity in this country.
Security chiefs synergize with governors of Northwest states to combat bandits and banditry as Inspector General of Police deploys special forces to Oyo State. Northern Elders Forum engages Northern Governors Forum on State of the Nation. And the federal government moves to restore the old glory of the National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. My name is Kene Ima Abudike. Also reading tonight is Michael Olaleye from Lagos. We begin on a very cheerful note as Nigeria's Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has made history as she becomes the first woman and the first African to lead the Geneva-based global trade governing body, World Trade Organization. Adebola Brusklin Sunday reports that the General Council, in a special meeting, confirmed her appointment.
A two-time Minister of Finance in Nigeria and former Managing Director Operations, World Bank, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is the World Health Organization and African Union COVID-19 envoy, former board chair at Gavi, a global vaccine alliance that promotes equitable access to COVID-19 vaccine. The General Council chair, David Walker, in a statement said Dr. Okonjo-Iweala clearly got the largest support by members at the final round, an assessment that was challenged by the Trump administration before the withdrawal of our challenger, Yoon Myung-hee of South Korea. U.S. Trade Representative said the Harvard-educated Okonjo-Iweala is widely respected for her effective leadership and has proven experience in managing a large international organization with diverse membership. Founded in 1995 with all her 5 predecessors men.
Wow, this is a very significant moment for the WTO. On behalf of the General Council, I extend our warmest congratulations to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on her appointment. So agreed.
Dr. Okonjo-Iweala is taking the helms of affairs at WTO at a very challenging time when the global trade is nosediving following the COVID-19 pandemic and when the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is coming on board to effectively remove trade barriers among African countries.
An African being at the forefront, being the Director General of the World Trade Organization, whose role is to enable fair trade between nations, we cannot but have a positive effect on what we're trying to do in Africa.
The challenges facing the WTO are numerous and tricky, but they are not insurmountable. There is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel if we work together in a transparent manner that builds trust, builds bridges, diffuses political tensions, and encourages convergence.
Her term starts on the 1st of March 2021. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari warmly felicitates with former Minister of Finance and Economy, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, on her election as Director General of the World Trade Organization, bringing joy and more honor to the country. In a statement on behalf of the federal government, the president takes pride in the fact that the Harvard-educated and renowned economist is taking up another onerous task of service to the world and humanity. He believes her track record of integrity, diligence and passion for development will continue to yield positive results and rewards to mankind. President Buhari affirms that Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, who over the years set major records of economic reforms in Nigeria as Minister of Finance and later Minister of Foreign Affairs, will excel in her new position and validate the global mandate of repositioning and strengthening the multilateral institution for the greater good of all. The president joins family, friends and colleagues in wishing Dr. Okonjo-Iweala well in her new endeavor. In the meantime, Musa Baba Aliyu compiled more reactions twirling the appointment of Nigeria's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the Director General of the World Trade Organization.
The European Union described Ngozi's appointment as historic, having a woman and from Africa to help the World Trade Organization since inception. The International Trade Council also rejoiced with Mrs. Iweala, promising to work with her to realize the multilateral trading that will bring the voices of MSMEs forward. OPEC Secretary General Mohamed Sanusi Barkindo commended the General Council of the World Trade Organization for the historic nature of the appointment of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. I have known Ngozi for many years. Her strong will and determination would drive her to tirelessly promote free trade to the benefit of people worldwide. We are the words of Christine Lagarde, former Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, while congratulating the new DG of WTO. And the former Liberian President, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, said it is a honor to witness new WTO DG's groundbreaking journey. And back home, the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, urged the new Director General to deploy her intellect, experience, energy, and integrity in leading the WTO to promote global prosperity through fair trade. And the Speaker House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, says the unanimous confirmation of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala by the General Council of the WTO is a testament to her years of experience in the financial sector, both at home and abroad. And the Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Nwayama, in a congratulatory message, described Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's appointment as well-deserved. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Nigeria's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala leads World Trade Organization, meets the renowned world-class economist who broke the jinx as the first woman and African to head the organization.
Here comes Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on track to run the global multilateral trade body, the World Trade Organization.
The narrative of a rising Africa.
Come March 1st, she is expected to hit the ground running, and she sounds confident.
Organizations like the WHO, Gavi, CEPI, even the World Bank, IMF, and all those multilaterals to try to set the rules so that next time we don't spend time trying to figure out how to respond. It will just trigger a set of actions.
The race started with a hurdle at her home country, Nigeria.
We already had nominated another candidate, but Mr. President insisted that he wanted Dr. Okonjo-Iweala to represent Nigeria, so we had to withdraw the previous nomination and present her. His foresight has led, and it has culminated into her being elected as the DG of the WTO.
On the continental scene, her 30 years experience on the global stage gave her the edge over two other major contenders from Egypt and Kenya. Having garnered support from member states, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was to face another big challenge, this time around from her second home, the United States of America. But faith and opportunity yet again reared their heads, with events culminating in the eventual ouster of the last contender. Then came the endorsement to victory.
So agreed.
Our membership of the WTO and our being in the driving seat of the African continental free trade gives us the opportunity to actually enjoy the two opportunities and facilities.
Dynamic towards essential, discovery of those niche products that can market Nigeria the more.
With vast knowledge in development economics, trade and finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is believed to have the skill set to lead the WTO as she promises to deliver outcomes, unite the global north and south, build trust, and work towards access to life-saving vaccines as efforts towards recovery of world economy continues. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Dr. Johnson Samadina Anene, Chairman, Abuja Trade Center, joins me live now to speak more on the appointment of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the new Director General of the World Trade Organization. Dr. Anene, thanks for joining us in the news tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, it's such a good news for Nigeria and indeed Africa. Now, how did the Chamber of Commerce and Industry receive the news of our appointment?
Yeah, we have been rejoicing. We've been celebrating. It's a victory for all of us, including you and every other Nigerian and African indeed. We have every reason to rejoice, being the very first African to hold that position. It is a thing of joy, so we are very rejoiceful and very happy at the chamber that one of our own has been so appointed. And we also know that it is a good omen for the Nigerian economy and the African economy because, of course, like you had the U.S. envoy said, that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is bringing a wealth of experience in commerce, and economic development and international diplomacy. So it is going to really rub off very positively on Nigeria and Africa in general.
All right, you've also mentioned economy, and by that I mean Nigeria's economy and the overall development. So beside that, what is in that appointment, for Nigeria, taking cognizance of the fact that, of course, we have Akiwumi Adesina at the AFDB and Amina Mohammed as the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations?
Yes, well, it's going further to, register Nigeria in the heart of the World Committee of Nations because it's not easy for us to have such three international players in the world sphere, so it's a very big thing for Nigeria, really, I must tell you.
And what should we be doing as a nation now as regards this appointment?
Is to support her all the way. The president has started lending his support, by supporting his election, her election. So what we in Nigeria should do is to leverage on the opportunities her appointment will bring to Africa, because her appointment really like I've said earlier, will open the economy, will open the borders, and will, bring Nigeria to the positive attention of the world powers. It's not only when it comes to negative news that they should remember Nigeria. They should also remember Nigeria with the likes of Okonjo-Iweala, knowing that good things can really come from Nigeria and Africa.
Already, the lady in question seemed to be hitting the ground running with issues of COVID-19 and how it affected the global economy. How do you react to that?
Yes, that's one of her promises during her acceptance speech, that she's going to tackle the economic problems that were brought about by the COVID pandemic. So I have every belief that she will hit the ground running and will deal seriously and decisively with the economic issues that the COVID-19 presented to the world and to Africa in general.
And you're expecting a massive positive ending, maybe by the time that's in your hands.
Of course. She has said that with her mandate is really to drive the economy, create more jobs, and open the borders, the frontiers of trade, facilitate trade across borders, particularly in Africa,
Thank you, Dr. Anene, for coming on the news tonight.
Oh, thank you very much.
We'll be speaking with Dr. Johnson Somadina Anene, Vice President of Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Network News continues shortly after this timeout. Stay with us.
Hey guys, making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109*NIN hash. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
In an effort to put Gombe State on the path of sustainable development and long-term prosperity, Governor Okonjo-Iweala administration is set to launch Gombe State 10-year development plan 2021 to 2030. The plan was developed through an extensive consultative process involving relevant stakeholders at ward, local, state, national and international levels. The plan, Christian Development Agenda for Gombe State, DEVAGON, will be unveiled on Tuesday, 16 February 2021, time 10 a.m. Venue, Banquet Hall, Government House, Gombe. Arrangement has been made for remote participation via Zoom. Meeting ID 954-2695-7803. Passcode 187233. Announcer Manasseh Daniel Jatau, Deputy Governor, Gombe State, Chairman, Steering Committee.
Lẹ́yìn tí mo ti jáde ní ilé ìwé yunifásítì, èmi ò ríṣẹ́ ṣe o. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ ìjọba Muhammadu Buhari tó fi ètò Empower kalẹ̀ fún mi.
On January 23rd, 2019,
Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Protection Act.
Oge matara atụmatụ gọọmenti n'ihe gbasara ngalaba ọrụ egwuregwu.
Ina mika godiya ta musamman ga mai girma shugaban kasa Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari.
Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, oníṣòwò ńlá ni mí.
As a person with disability, as a youth,
as a woman, the fact remains that we cannot live our lives independent of government policies.
Get involved.
Get involved by registering to join APC.
I am Governor Iweala of Kogi State, Chairman, Youth, Women and People Living with Disabilities Mobilization and Sensitization Committee of the APC Membership Registration and Revalidation Exercise 2021, and I approve this message.
It's a happy feeling when receiving all of the love coming from family.
So many recipes, creating memories, every day and every night, bonding families.
60 years of joy, so much love, so much value, quality. Golden penny is you, golden penny is me, golden penny is at the heart of the family. Golden penny is you, golden penny is me, golden penny is at the heart of the family. Golden penny is you, golden penny is me, golden penny is at the heart of the family.
The Bureau of Public Enterprises, BPE, will hold an international investors webinar on 4 concession opportunities in the country on Tuesday, February 23, 2021 at 10 a.m. The webinar to appraise potential investors on business opportunities in Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos International Trade Fair Complex, and Calabar and Kano Special Economic Zones would be declared open by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, His Excellency Otumba Adini Adebayo, in furtherance to the new BPE's mandate as the federal government's agency in charge of public-private partnerships in the country. Global investors, ministries, and state governors are expected to attend the event. Interested participants should link up for the webinar via Zoom ID 886-4463-9381. Zoom passcode 903167. Signed, Amina Tukur Othman for management.
For you to tanda for this world, you got know what's up. Sabi waiting day ground, then start to do your run. Get ginger to sabi every. Because when you fit see the different side of the world, anything they possible. BBC News for PJ, make your life better.
Welcome back. The governors and elders from the 19 northern states of the country are meeting in Abuja to deliberate on some crucial national issues. Correspondent Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the issues slated for deliberation at the extraordinary meeting are not made public, but information from a reliable source indicates that security is expected to top the agenda. At the meeting are Governor of Plateau State Simon Bako Lalong and his Sokoto State counterpart Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. Others are Chairman of the Northern Elders Forum, Professor Abdullahi Ango, former Speaker, House of Representatives Gali Umar Nahaba, former Federal Permanent Secretary Hakim Baba Ahmed, and other members of the forum. The meeting is expected to brief the media at the end of the session. And talking security matters, governors of the Northwest State and service chiefs have resolved to adopt holistic approach and new strategy in dealing with the security challenges confronting the region and the entire country. Mohammed Umar Ajinge reports that this was at a security town hall meeting in Kaduna.
A renewed commitment to ending security challenges in the Northwest. As these stakeholders in the fight against insecurity in Nigeria, the National Security Advisor, service chiefs, the state governors converge on Kaduna to chart a way forward.
Have decided to work on a whole of government approach in combination with a whole of society approach to achieve a whole of nation result. That is why we are engaging you. President Buhari is emphatic, he is committed, he is determined, he is relentless in his vigorous pursuit to bring an end to insecurity in this country, and I want to assure you that that will happen.
We are working to ensuring that there is a difference. The service chiefs and I just took over the reins of leadership of the armed forces barely 2 weeks ago. And so you would expect that some reorganization is currently ongoing.
Governors of the Northwest states called for calm, urging religious and traditional rulers to continue to preach tolerance and remain vigilant towards checking criminal elements in their domains.
To support our military, our police and security agencies, not only with prayers, but with calls for them to be better equipped.
We're looking forward to seeing the end of insecurity in Nigeria.
The meeting is expected to reconvene at a later date to collate and harmonize fresh ideas, particularly from religious and traditional rulers in the worst affected areas, towards consolidating on the new strategy. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukwu in this special report takes a look at strategies by the federal government in tackling insecurity in the Northwest. Our stakeholders say more community engagement is needed to consolidate on gains already recorded.
Insurgency is a global security challenge. The northwestern part of Nigeria is witnessing the challenge in banditry, kidnapping and other acts of terror. At every turn, government kept paid working with stakeholders to counter increasing crime rates through Operation Standard Strike, Hadarin Daji, and Operation Temakoyazu and Dirarimikia by the military. The Nigeria Police in Operation codenamed Pop Ada recorded some milestones. Participants at Kaduna meeting have reached a consensus on doing more with community engagement to achieve success on the fight against security challenges.
Those that have come out of their own free will, to succumb to the authorities, they could be offered some form of leniency. But a crime committed is already, a crime and should be dealt with.
Let's try to analyze, understand what in the first place brought about these issues of banditry in Nigeria.
By involving all that needed to be involved in the security challenges, situation and apparatus in terms of advice.
Another town hall meeting is expected soon as deliberate strategy towards ensuring massive support to end criminality in the region and parts of the country. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukwu, NTA News.
Now, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has ordered the immediate deployment of police intervention and stabilization forces to Oyo State to reinforce security and boost public confidence in the areas affected by recent crises in some parts of the state. Francis Form reports that the IGP has also announced the commencement of Operation Puff Ada 2 in Abuja to tackle banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other heinous crimes.
The deployments consist of intelligence and operational assets of the force, which include 4 units of the Mobile Police Force, seasoned operatives from the Force Intelligence Bureau, and 1 operational and surveillance police helicopter from the Police Air Wing Department.
You will notice that they are changing tactics.
Meanwhile, these are men of the newly formed Operation Puff Ada 2, waiting to be deployed to their new areas of assignment to reclaim the public space from criminal elements threatening the nation's internal security. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, charged the officers and men to dislodge the criminals and deny them the opportunity of regrouping in the zones or any parts of the country.
The force leadership and indeed the entire nation are looking out for 3 major outcomes as you discharge your duties. First is to protect them from bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, and other heinous criminals. Second is to apprehend the criminals and bring them to justice. And third is to be professional in your conduct as you strive to attain these objectives.
The new operation will focus on the restoration of peace and security in the Northwest and North Central geopolitical zones. Francis Form, NTA News.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and his Ondo State counterpart Rotimi Akeredolu have visited the troubled Shasha community in Ibadan, where they appealed for calm and peaceful coexistence between the Hausa community and their Yoruba hosts. Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
Seyi Makinde, accompanied by Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, lamented the incidents, stressing the need for peaceful cohabitation among various groups in the state as panacea for growth and development. while assuring the people that the police and other security agencies will carry out a thorough investigation into the crisis towards finding a lasting solution to security challenges affecting the area. Both governors appealed to residents of the area to desist from taking laws into their hands and let peace reign in the community.
For our law enforcement agents, they have to step up their game. We ask that they dominate that area. We don't want to lose even half a soul right now. So we'll continue to monitor the situation and we'll continue to play our part.
We are all brothers. There could be one problem or the other, but this time will soon pass, and that our people should remain calm. Sheath your sword. There's no need for us to fight. There's no need for any counter-attack. There's no need for any reprisal. We are brothers.
Oyo State government recently imposed curfew on Shasha community due to the ethnic clash that ensued in the area last Friday. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
In the meantime, a media activist, Kadiria Ahmed, has cautioned the Nigerian media to be careful and avoid further feeling of violence and ethno-religious tension in the country. In a message, the media guru expressed her worry about recent happenings in the country, asking the media in strong terms to desist turning citizens against one another, which in the end will spiral into large-scale ethnic killings against each other. Kadiria reminded media organizations and journalists to uphold the book on ethical reporting so as not to betray the moral consideration that assigns the noble profession that mandated the fourth estate of the realm to be the last hope of the common man. She said despite numerous examples that exist which have proved, including not too long ago in Rwanda, that the conduct of the media can help in promoting, starting and perpetuating violence and ethnic strife, Nigerian media is beginning to turn a deaf ear to pleas to not become a tool that enables hate. It is time now to join Michael Olaleya in our Lagos Network Center for more reports. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Kene. Motorists who we are expecting to have the third Milan Bridge fully reopened today, 15th February, will have to wait a bit more longer. This is due to a delay in the completion of works, which according to the Federal Minister of Works and Housing will be completed before the end of the month. Dotun Ogunyemi reports.
We are working together with the contractor to make sure that that February 15, all the jobs that are still outstanding will be completed, and then the public, the motorists will be able to use the third mainland bridge.
Those assurances have now become appeals for patience and even more understanding as frantic efforts are being made by the contractors to complete the repair works.
The news of the full reopening of the third mainland bridge has been a long-awaited desire for motorists in Lagos. But as it is now, the bridge is still closed, and that is simply because work along this section of the road, which is the Oworonsoki bound lane, is still ongoing. And a statement credited to the Federal Controller of Works in Lagos states that the reasons for this include the fact that the NSAS protest back in October 2020 took about 2 weeks away from the project's delivery time. And just again to state that another closure of the bridge is imminent, and that is on the 19th actually of this month, and that is to allow for the casting of the very final expansion joint on this side of the bridge.
Another reason is to have all the lane markings on the completed section of the bridge finished before the full reopening. For now, security and traffic management personnel are still ensuring that motorists comply with earlier stated traffic diversionary signs as they continue to ply the alternative routes. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
The Chief of the Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Awal Gabo, has reassured stakeholders in the maritime industry of continued support for continued security for legitimate operations to thrive. as the service is leveraging on technology, training, and synergy. This was during the flag-off of exercise Secured Water 2021 on board NNS Thunder. Dr. Oguyemi again reports.
It is the first sea exercise that the newly appointed Chief of the Naval Staff would be flagging off.
For the first quarter of the year.
In a strongly worded speech, Rear Admiral Gambo noted that the exercise would provide needed tests across a broad spectrum of maritime operations in order to enhance the security of Nigeria's maritime domain to check criminality at sea.
Exercise is therefore a demonstration of nations' resolve to strengthen and consolidate on previous gains by acting decisive against pirates, sea robbers, and other enemies of the state. Such strong commitment will further reassure our regional and international partners of our readiness to weather ongoing partnerships.
It is also pertinent to state that the exercise comes against the backdrop of cases of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea.
The exercise involves the deployment of assets from all three operation commands and a total of 14 Nigerian Navy capital ships, 2 helicopters, and elements of the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service personnel would be participating in the exercise. In Lagos, Dr. Oguyemi, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports with Kenne shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
City slept. We installed a board in the middle of a park with something special hidden inside. We wondered if people would notice. They didn't, so we invited Nigerians to add their polls to the scene, whichever way they chose to. Some literally added their own polls. Some sang, others rapped, and even recited poetry. As they added their polls, the board came alive. Hidden figures broke free from obscurity, inspired by the crowd expressing themselves.
You know you can't do anything.
Because why blend in when you can stand out? NTN polls. Do you? Dial *406# to join.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B all-round protection. Its great value, it protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
It is time for celebration. 30 years bustling with goodness. No challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Water Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Water Guinness, enjoy a world of
toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
Cavity? What cavity?
Let me show you.
Most toothaches are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity.
It also has natural mint for minty fresh breath every day.
Mom, can I eat chocolates now?
As long as you brush with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Tough on stains with longer lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer lasting freshness. Tough on stains with longer lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer lasting freshness. Tough on stains with longer lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer lasting freshness.
In my house, we may look alike, but we are very different individuals. My adorable twins, they look so alike, but they don't like wearing the same things. And my little man, he loves to learn his own way because doing things his way is more fulfilling. Everybody believes their way is best. That's why Golden Penny Pasta is our favorite meal. It allows me to satisfy everybody just the way they want it.
Golden Penny Pasta, made with durum wheat, is tasty, nutritious, a source of protein and fiber. Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria's sport health workers have been placed on red alert over the resurgence of Ebola in Guinea-Conakry. To this end, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 advises Nigerians to avoid traveling to countries with high burden of COVID-19 or any disease outbreak to prevent importation of such diseases. Maritime reports.
The nation continues to battle with COVID-19. The resurgence of the dreaded Ebola virus in Guinea-Conakry has become a major concern in the West African region, and Nigeria is not leaving anything to chance.
Land, sea and air borders and all hospitals have been put on notice to alert health workers to have a keen index of suspicion and to check patient travel history and to report all concerns to infectious disease focal persons and state epidemiology without hesitation.
We shall keep an eye on it to avoid having to combat with two deadly diseases at the same time.
Compared to the 2014 West African outbreak, we now have a vaccine against this Ebola virus that can be used in the context of outbreaks.
Vaccines are still being expected to inoculate the population against COVID-19.
Additionally, the federal government, as you might have heard earlier, has received the commitment of about 1.5 million and 100,000 doses of AstraZeneca from MTN and the government of India, respectively.
To boost oxygen supply, especially for critical COVID-19 cases, 36 existing oxygen plants in the country are to be repaired ahead of plans to build new ones. In Abuja, Maritime, NTA News.
Nigeria's creative and entertainment industry is set for a rebirth as the federal government signs a memorandum of understanding with the Bankers Committee for the restoration of the National Art Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. The agreement for the private sector-funded 21 billion naira project is facilitated by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Adeni Yetaiwo reports.
Built 45 years ago as a national monument to the African culture, the imposing National Art Theatre, Igomu, Lagos, has in the last 2 decades gone moribund, failing to provide the needed support for the nation's fast-growing creative industry. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has been working with the Central Bank of Nigeria to save the national asset by partnering the private sector. He is excited on this particular occasion as he signs a series of agreements with the Bankers Committee to restore the facility.
As part of the restoration of the National Theatre, there will be the development of a purpose-built cluster to provide world-class facilities for the Nigerian creative industry.
It is going to be a 21st century building. It is going to be a building that will breathe in IT, in everything, such that when we are holding international conferences, it will be beamed in different parts of the world without any interference.
We are also working to support the creation of the Lagos Creative and Entertainment City, which will provide employment to millions and millions of youth.
With a projected capacity to generate about 35,000 jobs during and after construction, the project will help in addressing some of the concerns of Nigerian youths.
For me, it's not only the National Theatre that I see. I see a transportation solution that has been solved. But more importantly, I see urban regeneration. The President has fully supported this project.
Contracts for the project were also awarded during the ceremony. With a timeline of 15 months to complete the project, work is expected to start very soon, and Nigerians can look forward to a new national theatre.
We now go to politics, where Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has called for the outright cancellation of the ongoing APC membership registration and revalidation exercise in Kwara State. The minister made a call shortly after taking part in the exercise at his Oro country home in Kwara State. Anthony Forsen reports.
Information and Culture Minister, who arrived his Oro polling unit 006 Ward 2, was taken aback with the avalanche of complaints by party members who have been thronging the place to have their membership revalidated or register afresh. The minister, who was visibly not disposed with the process, called for an outright cancellation of the exercise.
There seems to be a deliberate policy for exclusion by the registration team from Abuja and their collaborators. It seems there's a plan to deregister even high-ranking members and stakeholders who have paid their dues to this party and without whose contribution this government would not have been in place.
Lai Mohammed maintained that the demands are irreducible demands for peace in the state, as all efforts at forming a common ground to move the party forward has failed.
There seems to be a policy to massively disenfranchise or deregister APC members in Kwara State. This has left many members disillusioned. Based on the communication that I have received from APC stakeholders across the state on the report of the monitoring teams and the glaring non-compliance with the stipulated guidelines, we, the critical stakeholders of the APC in Kwara State, hereby demand immediate cancellation of the APC membership registration exercise in Kwara State.
Again, the John Amboyi-led registration committee is equally being accused of deliberate attempt of disenfranchising members of the party in the state. From Oro in Kwara State, Anthony Forsen, NTA News.
Two APC national chieftains from Jigawa State, Farouk Adamu Aliyu and Nasiru Haladu Dano, have added their voices on the need for Nigerians to join the progressive fold by registering with the party in the interest of moving Nigeria forward. Awal Muhammad Kazaure reports.
Chieftains Farouk Adamu Aliyu and Nasiru Haladu Dano revalidate their registration at their respective polling units in Borno Kudu and those are local government areas.
People are happy that we're doing, and in fact I call on people to join APC, those that are even in PDP or in other parties, to join the party of the day. And we're going to have a register that is going to be domiciled at the headquarters of the party. So that's just about it. And then we also want to practice, what's happening in other claims. When you go to other claims that do practice democracy the way we do, try to do this thing as often as possible.
What we are doing is just the validation of the registration. It's part of the trying to get more membership and also, encourage people to register with the APC.
Meanwhile, reports across the 27 local government areas indicate the registration and revalidation exercise is going on smoothly, with people trooping to the centers to participate. From Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazaure, NTA News.
Still talking in politics, Rivers State PDP Chairman Ambassador Desmond Akawo has commended the peaceful conduct of the PDP chairmanship primaries. Akawo spoke after monitoring the conduct of the primaries in some local government areas in the state. Emmanuel Lene reports.
Rivers State PDP local government chairmanship primaries commenced with the distribution of electoral materials to the various local government area returning officers for the conduct of the primaries at the various local governments. Rivers State PDP Chairman Ambassador Desmond Akawo, in company of the National Local Government Chairmanship Primaries Election Screening Committee, monitored the exercise in Obiakpo. and Port Harcourt City local government areas. Ambassador Akawo commended the peaceful conduct of the primaries, describing it as credible and transparent. He expressed confidence that, drawing from the performance of the PDP-led government in the state, the party will come out victorious.
For the first time in the history of primary politics in Rivers State, I've never seen where we have had election as so good that there is nowhere you've had that somebody is wounded or there is a loss of life anywhere.
Chairman, PDP local government chairmanship primaries election screening committee, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, expressed satisfaction with the process, calling on other political parties to borrow a leaf from the PDP.
That's a very good process, and that's assured that PDP is a party to emulate.
George Ariolu emerged Obiakpo local government area PDP candidate with a total of 360 yes votes, while Orwell Ehonda was returned as Port Harcourt City local government area candidate with a total of 395 yes votes. The National Local Government Election Screening Committee had earlier screened the chairmanship aspirants. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Away from politics now, all is now set for the commencement of repatriation of the 48,000 refugees of Borno extraction from Mina Wawa camp of the Cameroon Republic, billed to begin on 27th of February 2021. This followed the signing of the revised standard procedure for the voluntary return of the refugees. Mohamed Goni reports.
A meeting was hosted by the Cameroonian Minister for Territorial Administration, Paul Atanga, to discuss modalities for voluntary repatriation, which is designed to commence with 5,000 returnees in the first phase of the exercise, billed to commence on the 27th February to 7 March 2021. The 11-point communique issued at the end of the meeting include implementation of the action plan covering the period from February 2021 for the voluntary repatriation of Nigerian refugees at Minawao camp, sensitization and information sharing to all refugees on condition in places of intended return, including services and assistance, among others.
When we came last time, the people unanimously echoed that they want to go back home.
Professor Zulum also assured the refugees that though the repatriation is done in phases, starting with those from Bama and Banki, further stressed that none of those refugees at the Minawao camp willing to return home will be left behind. Cameroonian Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanga, said both President Buhari and President Paul Biya insist that international laws and conventions should be adhered to in the process of repatriation.
There's place for joy as for the 5,000 who will be in the first list. But it's an ongoing process.
In Maiduguri, Mohamed Goni, NTA News.
More messages are still coming in for Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. The Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Pauline Tarling, has congratulated the new DG of WTO on her appointment as the first female and African DG. She praised that her tenure will bring significant progress in the task of mainstreaming women in development processes globally. This is the network news on the NTA. Stay tuned for sports update and more after the break.
Bye. Bye.
Don't worry, dear. I'll take care of it. Manage to keep your fabric so white? Wow! And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use Hypo to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your home free of illness causing viruses and germs with the disinfecting power of Hypo Bleach.
This is the Wilson family last week. This is the Wilson family this week.
What's changed? What? The Wilson family got maximum entertainment for less, and now they're closer than ever. Your family can be too.
How does this work?
With world-class international channels that put the quality back in your quality time.
That's what I'm talking about.
GoTV Max will bring you and your family closer in no time. So upgrade to GoTV Max for only 2,999 naira today. Make you enjoy. GoTV. Love it.
Super Falcons set for Turkish Women's Cup. Let's join the sports desk for details.
Welcome to Sports Update. We begin with football, where reigning African champion Super Falcons of Nigeria arrived at Alanya, Turkey safely on Monday, ahead of their first game against Russian champions CSKA Moscow on Wednesday in the 5th Turkish Women's Cup, billed for 15 to 24 this month. The Falcons, under new coach Randy Waldrum, will tackle Uzbekistan on Saturday before their final group game against fellow Africans Equatorial Guinea on February 23. In basketball, all is set for the final FIBA AfroBasket 2021 qualifiers, with 5 groups of teams in contention in Tunisia and Cameroon from February 17 to 21. Nigeria's D Tigers, who are scheduled to compete in Monastir, Tunisia, begin their Group D campaign against South Sudan on Wednesday. The African champions will play Rwanda on Thursday before meeting Mali on Friday. And finally, in golf, Air Vice Marshal Kingsley La-led Team B defeated Team I with 3-2, sparing 2 holes to win the Maiden Golf Sixes Nigerian 2021 tournament at the TYB International Golf and Resort Country Club, Abuja.
We played with the team that had the highest score, and we, by the grace of God, we defeated them and proceeded to defeat other stronger teams, on paper at least, to emerge champion, 3 up with 2 holes to go.
The golfers who make up the most of the faction of the golfing community, the seniors, they were celebrated this weekend. They came out en masse. They have been very appreciative.
The tournament, which is designed for players aged 55 and above, had 64 players grouped in 16 teams across 2 days. And that's Sports Update. I am Tamara Ebiwe.
A quick check for weather prospect for tomorrow.
The next 72 hours promises to be an interesting one as we anticipate the raising of fresh dust over the source region. This dust is expected to affect into the country and will deteriorate visibility over the northeast and northwestern parts of the country. For Tuesday, we expect sunny skies over the north and north-central parts of the country. However, the north is expected to still remain dry throughout the day. The southern parts of the country should be cloudy in the morning, but by afternoon and evening hours, residents of Lagos, Ogun, southern Ondo, Edo, as well as Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Cross River should experience a few thunderstorms. I am Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
And that concludes NTA Network News tonight. Many thanks to you for watching. My name is Kene Ima Abodike. Do have a good night.